Once upon a time in a quiet town, there lived a cat named Whiskers. Whiskers wasn't your average cat. While other felines spent their days lounging in the sun, chasing mice, or being mischievous, Whiskers had one goal in life: to become the strongest, most muscular cat ever to walk on 4 paws. It all started when Whiskers was just a kitten. One day, he saw a group of muscular men at the park, lifting heavy weights, their muscles rippling as they grunted and sweated. Whiskers had never seen anything like it. He was fascinated by the sheer power these humans exhibited, and a spark ignited in his small kitten-sized heart. At first, his journey seemed impossible. After all, Whiskers was a cat, not a human. He had no hands to lift weights with, and his body wasn't built for lifting heavy objects, but Whiskers was determined. His first step was to build a gym in his house. His owner, a kind old woman named Mrs. Jacobs, was perplexed when she found an assortment of small dumbbells, kettlebells, and ropes scattered across the living room. "Whiskers, what on earth are you doing?" she asked. Whiskers just gave her one of his classic, cool stares and swished his tail with confidence. The next day, he began his first workout session. He started small, lifting lightweight objects that he could push around with his paws. His first challenge was lifting a small rubber ball. It seemed silly at first, but with persistence, he began pushing it up and down, training his front legs to build strength. Days turned into weeks, and Whiskers got stronger. He could now lift heavier objects. Mrs. Jacobs watched in awe as Whiskers grew more muscular. His sleek coat became shinier, his shoulders broader, and his little muscles began to ripple when he sprinted across the room. But Whiskers wasn't satisfied. He knew he had to push harder. It was time for him to step up his training. One afternoon, Mrs. Jacobs noticed a strange sound coming from the backyard. She peeked out the window and saw Whiskers climbing the tallest tree in their yard. He was no longer content with playing on the ground. He had started rock climbing and bodyweight exercises, using the trees as natural obstacles. With each climb, he got stronger and more agile, his muscles bulging with every stretch. But Whiskers' training didn't stop there. He began to experiment with a feline version of bodybuilding exercises. He'd do push-ups with his paws, crunches to strengthen his core, and even tried squats by holding onto a sturdy table leg with his paws and lifting his back legs into the air. Mrs. Jacobs even started giving him tiny weights to lift little bags of rice that Whiskers would carry around the house in his mouth, determined to add some bulk to his frame. Months passed, and the word about the bodybuilding cat spread across town. People would stop by Mrs. Jacobs' house just to see Whiskers' extraordinary transformation. The little feline was becoming a local legend, his muscular physique drawing crowds. He had become so strong that he could leap from one tree to another, swinging from branches with ease. One day, an opportunity arose. A local fitness competition, called the Paws and Claws Bodybuilding Challenge, was being held, and the organizers had a category for animals. Whiskers immediately entered, not wanting to miss the chance to showcase his hard work. Mrs. Jacobs helped him prepare for the event, offering him a steady diet of high-protein meals and encouraging him during his final workouts. The day of the competition arrived. Whiskers stood nervously behind the curtain as he watched the other animals strut their stuff.